Hi, my name is Marty McShay. I'm a nurse in the ICU at Lancaster General Hospital. The instructional teaching method I'm going to be going over is podcasts. Podcasts are strictly audio files, so there's no visual component to them. They're downloaded or uploaded onto a personal computer or any mobile device such as smartphone or MP3s or iPads, and it can be about various topics, virtually anything really. They can be listened to anywhere, anytime, and across different environments such as headphones, car stereos, or computer speakers. And podcast is derived from a combination of the words iPod and broadcast. The domain of learning that's used in podcasting is the cognitive domain. Some examples of this is recognizing specific information of what was presented while listening to a podcast, demonstrating an understanding, so the learner demonstrates an understanding of what was presented by basically summarizing it in his or her own words, applying to what was learned in situations, pretty much just the ability for the learner to use the ideas or the principles that they gained into real life situations. Breaking down information and putting it back together, so pretty much just analyzing and synthesizing information, and then evaluating the ideas, judging the value of it, and applying standards to it. So there are multiple advantages to podcasts. A few of them here being they're widely available, so you can download them through multiple different platforms. They're accessible. The availability of podcasts allows the learner to access information in multiple different places using a variety of different devices. It's nice because users have the ability to access this information at a time and at a place that's the most convenient for them. Podcasts offer a lot of flexibility. It can be used to replace traditional lectures or to just reinforce the concepts that were initially presented during those lectures. Or even just as a means for learners to just gain new knowledge. Creativity, so the one that's actually creating the podcast can try and engage the learners as best as possible with use of sound effects and audio clips, things like that. It promotes self-efficacy. So, self-efficacy is a student's judgment of their own ability to perform the actions required for success. So theoretically, a learner with high academic self-efficacy should have a better learning experience if podcasted materials are used. According to the McSwiggan and Campbell article, podcasts have the potential to promote self-efficacy because of their potential to make assessments seem more doable. Students report greater clarity about what is expected of them and increased confidence about having this competent knowledge and skills. And then podcasts also can really enhance learning experiences. Many university now are using podcasts to deliver supplementary lecture materials to students to help them. So disadvantages for podcasts, a lot of it's like personal preference based for the student. No face-to-face contact or interaction with the teacher or the presenter. So you can't get real-time feedback, you can't ask questions, so a lot of people don't like that. Relies only on sense of hearing, so obviously if one is hearing impaired, they're not going to opt for a podcast. Some of them may be pretty expensive, and it relies on technologically competent people to, download and all that. So if someone isn't good with computers or doesn't like working with them, then probably not a great means. Healthcare education for patients. So medical talk shows, community service discussions, public education on health issues. Podcasts can be really helpful in delivering a message, and it can be useful in teaching patients. It can supplement face-to-face education. So if you're educating, or if you're repeatedly educating patients on the same thing, you can kind of refer them to a podcast with all the major points, and then talk to them individually about more specific things. And then directing them to the podcast can free up educational time for other reasons, or for other educations. So peer education, so basically nurses educating themselves or one another. Podcasts are really useful for employee orientations, policy and procedural changes, updates on patient cares, audio demonstration of procedures. You can get CEUs with them, which is always really helpful. And then just ongoing nursing education for those nurses who may not have time to go and sit down at lectures or classes or anything like that. And then healthcare education for students. This is probably where it's most popular, especially online classes like we're doing. Is helpful for students because it can be a supplement to lectures, to in-class lectures, or it can be the nursing class lecture. And then this McSwiggan and Campbell article talks about guiding assessments, the use of podcasts to guide assessment. So they propose that using podcasts to engage students in guiding a patient assessment and receiving feedback may promote this self-efficacy for the students. It promotes the self-efficacy by because of their potential to make assessments seem more doable, and the students ended up reporting greater clarity about what was expected of them and increased confidence about having the knowledge and skills to perform these. So there is my reference list. Thank you for listening, and I hope you all have a good day.